Good morning, you are joining us from inside Chester Zoo. So Chester Zoo is in Chester, in Cheshire, which is close to Liverpool and Manchester in the UK. And it is where we got married 11 years ago yesterday. So we've decided to come to the zoo and visit the actual venue where we got married, because we've been to the zoo since, but we haven't been to our wedding venue. I'm just looking at it in the corner of my eye because it's over there. But this is Oakfield Manor, and it has changed an absolute ton since we were last here. All this like glass frontage is new. I'll pop pictures on of what it used to look like, but this is the little windy path where all our guests arrived in the morning. So we have a reservation at 12 p.m, which is in about an hour's time, but we made our way through the zoo because it is on the other half, the back end of the zoo from where the entrance is, and it is a very busy day at the zoo today. Apart from up here, it's a lot quieter up here, but it's very busy. It is the 3rd of September, so it's the weekend before all the kids go back to school, so I think everybody's just come to the zoo for like the last weekend. So Adam's just found these plaques in this little garden across from Oakfield Manor. These are for the family members, the Mottershead family, which this building used to be the HQ of Chester Zoo. What was that programme called? Was it an ITV drama? It was. Oh, was it? What was it called? Our Zoo.
Yeah, Our Zoo.
If you go back somewhere on YouTube or on iPlayer or things like that where you can find it, there was a period drama called Our Zoo, and it was based on this building and the family kind of working and building the zoo around this Oakfield Manor here. So up at the top end of the zoo near Oakfield Manor, we have like the lions and the cheetahs. And there was one day when we'd gone in for like an admin session with the venue just to talk through what was going on the day. And we arrived really early before anybody was allowed into the zoo, and we'd come through like a back secret entrance near the lions. And one of the staff members decided to pull a prank on a different staff member, not realising that there was pedestrians in the zoo at the time, and they said that a lion had got loose, and we were just kind of stood outside the manor at the big locked doors, just like panic, like, let us in, well, there's a lion that's free. So he swung the door open and let us in. So once we got inside, he actually realised it was a prank then, so everybody got to calm down, but I don't think they realised there was pedestrians in the zoo. We're just walking past, and I said to Adam, like, I recognise this phone box, is this the one that we were stood in? We had some pictures taken in this phone box. So here it is. It was called George Mottershead, so they've called this tiny little sweet shop after George. But honestly, that programme that we watched, it is really good if you can find it. So here is the entrance of the zoo, and all the way across is the Oakfield where we just were. And they've moved the lions. The lions used to be here where the cheetahs are, and they've moved the lions all the way down here, but they are doing a whole new development here for 2025, so that's probably where the lions will end up. But we are here now, and this is called the Sunken Garden, where we had more wedding pictures taken, so we're going to have a look down there. Here it is. This is what I remember, this big creepy figure in the middle. So we had pictures down here because it was nice and quiet, and there was a little bench right behind where we were sat. We're just making our way back to Oakfield Manor now because it's nearly 12. But one thing we have noticed is there's a brand new building. Adam's nose. You weren't quick enough. There's a brand new building here, and I think this is the new wedding venue, because when you got married here, they actually shut the whole building down for the day, which means they're losing out on money from the restaurant, because it is now like a restaurant/bar area. So I think this is where you would now get married if you chose to get married here. So it's a whole separate wedding venue. Just stood waiting to be seated, but we got married in that room just through there. And Adam said the guy who was seating us was our master of ceremonies at the wedding. So it looks like it's still here. We have just finished with our meal at the Oakfield. Adam ordered some calamari to start, salt and pepper calamari. Said it was very good. And then we both ordered the baked ham roast, Sunday roast, and oh my gosh, I have never seen such a big piece of meat. A massive piece of meat on the plate. We've just come round the side now because there's some like little tiny gardens, and we actually had some pictures here, so I'll show you that in a sec. But so what did our bill come to? I had an apple juice, Adam had an alcohol-free beer. We had calamari and two ham Sunday roasts.
£49.68.
£49.68, and the lovely server gave us a 10% discount, so he must have put like his member discount on there.
It comes to £44.64.
£44.64p. So we couldn't really have I did have a look. I popped my head into the couple of rooms on the way out, of the room that we got married in and the room where our cake was. It looks completely different, but they do have tables in there, so I didn't film any of it because there were people eating. But the room where we got married, the actual panelling was still there and the same, but in terms of like the shape of the building, they'd kind of like opened it all up and knocked walls through and stuff, and it looked really different. We're just walking through this archway now. We had a couple of pictures in this archway, didn't we?
I couldn't get a dessert.
And Adam's gutted he couldn't get a dessert because we are absolutely stuffed, right? Really stuffed. I could only eat like 3 mouthfuls of that ham because it was just so big. But I said, don't worry, we can go and get a dessert from, like, when we're walking around and we see like a little dessert hut, because they're spotted, like dotted around little food courts and stuff. And I said maybe we can find something special. Maybe the zoo has a special dessert, you know, like Disney does, where you have different things at different stalls. So maybe they got a themed one to the zoo. And Adam said, yeah, maybe it's
a dung whippet.
An elephant dung sundae. We're just debating which archway we were stood under. I think it was this one because it was quite close together, but there is another one there. But I think it was this one where we had our pictures done. We're now heading up the ramp to look at the red ape section. We had our pictures in here for our wedding as well. I can't even remember that. I look at the pictures and I go, oh, we went in, but I can't remember it on the day. But they teased on the internet, Chester Zoo, that they had a new arrival, and if we were coming this weekend we might get to see it. And it was just a picture of this little grey hand and a little bit of ginger fur, so we're assuming it's an orangutan. This is new since we've last been. It's a huge building with a shark on it, and it's like a shark experience. But I've got a feeling it's kind of like projections, and because it says they have projections and audio, so I'm not sure if we'll see actual sharks or if they're just like CGI ones. We also had our picture walking down this path, and on the right hand side you can see like a mum grabbing the kid out the way, otherwise he were going to be in the picture, but that was the whole point of the picture. The photographer made sure he was in because it was just like a funny funny thing, and a mum like dragging the kid out the way. We are at the top end of Chester Zoo now in the new bit. This is the extra new bit that they're currently building for 2025, but round in this area they have a whole boat ride and everything, which completely new to us. We have seen it before once, haven't we, but it's still new to us. We picked up one of these pineapple, it's a bit like a Dole Whip float, this one that you can get in Animal Kingdom and stuff in America. That's where we got our last one from. But he comes in a little reusable cup, so you can take this home, and it says Chester Zoo on it. Adam's completely obliterated his because he was very thirsty. All this new area, they've themed it like really heavily compared to the rest of the zoo, and it really feels like Animal Kingdom. I know we've mentioned Animal Kingdom already, but they've themed it really well. Heading into the fruit bat cave. So in here you have free flying fruit bats, essentially flying very close to your head in the absolute pitch black. It's a good job.
I'm fine with it. Kai's not here.
Yeah, Kai's not here to scream at it this time. We used to have a monorail at Chester Zoo, but this is all that's left of the track, I think. I don't know when they took it out, but I remember either a monorail or some sort of cable car, or both. So I don't know how long it's been down, but there's this like little base now. It used to go over the camels and the rhinos. We've finished our day at Chester Zoo. We have very minimal battery left, so it might cut me off, but we have of course been to the gift shop and picked up a pin for our pin board. As those of you who watch my other channel, because this is on a completely different channel now, I have this one which is our days out and trips, and then my other channel is full of cake decorating tutorials and behind the scenes of cake, which is my main job. But we have a pin badge, a pin board at home with lots of little pin badges on from when we go out and do days out and what we visited or theatre shows that we've seen. We're just making our way back to the car now. It's been a scorcher of a day. It's 25 degrees, very hot, and especially out in the open areas of Chester Zoo it's just far too hot, and it was really busy today as well, but we're all done. A lot of people might wonder why we got married at Chester Zoo, because it's not local to us. It's a good over an hour away. Yep, you have guessed it. That is where my battery cut out. What an absolute rookie mistake for my new channel. But people do ask why we chose to get married at Chester Zoo. I mean, it's an amazing place anyway. Who wouldn't want to get married at Chester Zoo? But the reason we drove over an hour to get to our wedding venue is because it was actually the first place we went on a day out. So our very first ever day out together, as opposed to like shopping and cinema, things like that, it was actually Chester Zoo. So for us it made perfect sense to go back there, bring the whole family and say our vows in the Oakfield Manor surrounded by the animals. One thing that was completely amazing and we didn't ask for is we wanted our guests to be comfortable. So not everybody likes wearing suits and having ties on and people having to go out and buy suits and things that they might not have. We said, come however you are comfortable, dress in whatever you want. Like if you want to wear trainers, that's absolutely fine, because all the groomsmen are going to be wearing Converse. Don't go out and buy a brand new pair of shoes just for the wedding. And so many people arrived in actual animal print outfits.
which we weren't expecting. There were zebra dresses, there were flamingo dresses, so much cheetah and animal print. It just fit in the whole day and it was amazing. And lots of people had their face painted because we had a little face painting cart. And during the boring bit, when like the couple gets taken off to have all their pictures taken, the guests were then just given free reign of the zoo to just go and have a day out. So it kind of wasn't like a wedding. You like sat there, listened to the vows, had like an afternoon tea, and then just got to explore the zoo for a few hours and then come back for an amazing, huge barbecue. And then a private tour of the zoo once it was close to the public. So there were only a few. This might have changed by now, but back then you could have chosen a couple of places you wanted to go. You could either choose the butterfly house, you could choose to go and see the elephants, or you could go choose to see the jaguar house. And we were very cheeky and chose the jaguar house for a specific reason. One, the butterfly house is absolutely roasting, so we would have all have melted. But the jaguar house was actually the furthest away from the venue, which meant we got to see lots of other animals and got like a longer experience because it was further and further away than all the other options. So we chose that one so that we got to see like lots of other animals and stuff on the way. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I am really sorry that this is my brand new channel. I have already failed at having to do a little speaking part at the end. But if you're new here, please do join us. Please click subscribe. We have another outing already coming up. I am going to try and make them informational as well. So just for disclosure, in terms of entrance, so you have to pay your entry fee into the zoo if you want to go and reserve a table at the restaurant. So you still need to have a eligible zoo ticket. Zoo admission at the time of filming this is roughly about £33 an adult and £25 a child, and under twos are free. We actually made good use of the National Lottery's offer that was on. So the National Lottery, if you play it roughly once a year, they release lots of like £25 off days out tickets. We made full use of that, so we got £25 off our tickets to get in, and we teamed that with our reservation and used to spend it on our anniversary. So it's always good to keep your eye out on lots of offers and discounts that pop up, because I do not go anywhere until I get a discount. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon.